Hello, everyone. This is your professor once again, Professor Danny Araneta Cabulay, on the course Entrepreneurial Management. We're going to talk about the Human Resources Plan. How important is it, and how do you go about it? So, this is for my students in San Beda College, Alabang. This is week number 4, and this is lecture number 13. So, we will talk about how to develop a plantilla, how to develop a salary scale, how to develop a 5-year projection plan, and how to enumerate the HR policies and procedures. So, for this particular episode, we will talk about the plantilla. What is a plantilla? A plantilla is a tool used by management to determine the most efficient manning to sustain operations of a business organization. If you remember, in the last couple of episodes, I taught you how to develop your structure, your organizational structure, whether it's flat, functional, or team, or matrix. After you've done that, now you're ready to produce your plantilla. A plantilla is basically following the Excel format. So if you use Excel, you are on the right track. So it's made up of columns and rows. Now, what is a plantilla going to look like? It comprises a list of officers, team leaders, and staff to be hired in each function or department and their corresponding rank and compensation. Is it important to develop a plantilla? Of course. It is important to develop a plantilla before starting any business enterprise to determine the volume of workers and managers to be hired, as well as the overall payroll expense for each period. As mentioned previously, payroll usually eats up something between 35 to 40% of your total operating expense. It is vital for HR budgeting to produce a plantilla. Without a good plantilla, the entrepreneur might end up either overstaffing or understaffing his business enterprise. When a business is understaffed, the quality of products and services is compromised. When it is overstaffed, it can financially be burdensome, making the business not viable. If you notice, there are companies that tend to hire a lot of people in the beginning, and then towards midstream, they lay off a lot of workers. That is not a good practice because people probably would have left their jobs to be able to join a new company only to be fired after 3 or 4 months. Take the case of Soler Hotel in the Entertainment City complex near the MOA area. Soler is a 5-star hotel. During its pre-opening phase, it actually advertised several days, and so many people applied because the come on was that they're going to hire a lot of people and they're going to triple the going rate. For example, if a waiter is paid somewhere between 12 to 15,000 pesos a month, they're prepared to pay somewhere between 30 to 35,000 a month. Technically, they're making the salaries of waiters in Metro Manila almost triple. The same thing is true for salaries of supervisors and managers. In short, pangako nila, triplehin nila ang sweldo ng mga i-hire nila. Isn't that very attractive? Of course, so many people applied with Soler. The line at the interviews were so jam-packed that many hotels and restaurants got scared because so many of their best employees were applying with Soler. So they hired a lot of people. In fact, they overstaffed the hotel in the beginning. So during the grand opening, when all the VIPs were there, they were so awed and amazed with the beauty of the hotel as well as the level of staffing because it's a five-star hotel. They had so many beautiful employees that they hired, very tall, very attractive, and very service-oriented because they probably hired the best in Metro Manila. After 3 months after the grand opening, they began to lay off a lot of people. Approximately two-thirds of the employees were laid off because their plantilla was just supposed to be right. So they went down to the level of their correct plantilla, laying off a good 60 to 70% of their existing employees just before they become fully tenured as per operation of law. We know that if an employee is continuously working for 6 months, that employee will automatically become tenured or regular. So before that period happens, Soler decided to lay off the employees that they felt should not stay. So they only retained the best of the best. Now, the question is, these people that they laid off, are they actually going to find another job? Of course, in fact, they wanted to come back to their old jobs, but it was kind of too late because their positions have already been filled up by their previous employers. Therefore, they had to apply from scratch with totally new employers. So, nasayang yung pinaghirapan nila sa Soler. Iniwanan nila yung mga dati nilang trabaho para lang gawin silang pang grand opening lang. And then, nung natapos yung grand opening, nawala na yung kanilang mga trabaho. Masakit yon because they sacrificed a lot. They left their good jobs, their high-paying jobs, to join Soler because they felt that Soler will keep up its promise, but Soler did not. So it's not a very ethical practice to overstaff and then later on to lay off employees. So don't do that when you put up a business. So here's pop question number 13. What are your insights on the hiring strategy of Soler Resort and Casino? What is the advantage and disadvantage of such strategy? I want you to answer this individually. Answer in 2 to 3 sentences only. The deadline for posting the answer is Wednesday. And that's going to be October 5, Wednesday. Okay? Don't forget to put your answer in the comment section in YouTube. See you in the next lecture.